you know,
Yes.
not all of them.
Mm.
And then you get those that can talk, that they can walk a bit, and they can't eat. I mean, had a lawyer once with lost his swallow completely, you know, had to be fed via a tube. He was only in his 60s, probably 60s. And he left walking, you know. I mean, wasn't perfect, but it's just interesting, isn't it?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. And probably it sounds like it's by the artery supplies both sides of the brain, you know, the bottom. Oh, yes. I don't...
Do you think we could pray for him? It's Phil and Chris.
Okay, yep. We can pray.
Loving God, we just lift Phil and Chris to you. Lord, I pray for complete healing for Phil, for much wisdom for the doctors and nurses, the skill and all that's needed. Lord, I just pray for peace for both Phil and Chris, that they'll just be able to rest in you and know that your loving arms are around them. In Jesus' name.
Father, we pray that even now that you'd strengthen all the muscles and areas of the brain that have been affected by the stroke. And Lord, as I know, other parts of the brain can sometimes pick up that function, and I just pray that, Lord, there'd be significant changes enabling him to regain the ability to walk, to talk, to eat, and to enjoy life again. So Lord, we just ask you to hover over his bed as we speak in ICU and minister your healing touch, that he might be restored to strength and able to finish the work which you have given Phil and his wife to do. So, Father, we just commit that whole situation to you. And those back home that are anxious and concerned, we just pray that you'd give them your peace and a real trust that you are working in their situation and in their lives. Thank you, Lord.
Amen.
Now on to more important matters. No, not really. Are you going for a swim, are you?
I don't know. Are you?
I don't know. Well, I won't go without you. Last time I went without you, it was so bad, the waves. I think I texted you. I couldn't stand up. I got bowled over all the time, and there's all these ruts in the sea, do you know, like the dips? Don't look interested.
Did you see about this? They're talking about the rip.
Yeah, they change according to the sand, but I understand there's often rips on the far sides of the bays.
But also, where there's no waves coming in, you might think that that's the safest because it's quiet. But it's actually where the rip is.
Right, and my understanding is the rip changes with the sand, I think, depending on where the sand. But I don't think there's much wind. There's a little bit of a cool breeze today, I noticed, Cam.
Today is hardly any breeze.
Yeah, there's a cool breeze today.
Not much.
There is. I can feel it coming from my house to your house, so I suspect it's at the beach. But it was so. I just couldn't stand up in the end. I was full of sand.
What time of the day did you go? I'm just wondering about the tide.
I went at 4 o'clock.
A few days ago.
Monday.
Yes, so was the tide in?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to go when it's right out, do you?
No, but I went I've been twice without you. The first time and the second time was just idyllic. It was warm and it was still. Amazing. So you want to go? Yeah.
When?
Have you had lunch?
Mm.
I've burnt myself in the garden. So it's 1 o'clock.
Maybe we should go, if it's possible, to have it at the, what do you call it, when the tide comes in, high tide? High tide would be best, wouldn't it? Is it possible to work that out?
Well, I'm going away in the morning, so I probably don't want to go too late today. I've got to get organised. I'm a bit bored at the moment. I'm doing this-
UV index today is very high.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
9.
going to have to slap myself. I got burnt here, between the gap between my trousers and my t-shirt. You're not even laughing. How are you, Campbell? Are you alright?
I'm okay.
That's good. Did you go for a walk last night?
Yep,
Where'd you go? I nearly
down
s-
to the beach.
Mm.
What is that? Aid could come for the bay.
Oh, that's it. 2 children got pulled out in the rip. Can I tell you something which upset me today? I don't know, it was just...
Funny.
I said to Sarah I was sorry that Matt wasn't there, and she was quite direct about it. Oh no, it's all good, he's not coming anymore. So it's sort of sad, eh?
It is sad.
I quite liked him, and I
Yeah.
I liked him as a person, and he made a contribution. And
Yes.
yeah. And she's an elder too, It
Yes.
kind of seems. But she was a little bit abrupt about it, maybe
Yes.
because others have asked. I don't know.
Yes. Yeah.
I felt a bit affronted. Does that make?
Yes.
Yeah, I think. Anyway,
Yes.
anyway it's
I want to see what the tide is. My thing doesn't tell me. It tells me lots. Tide. I'll put in tide. Tide.
So high tide.
Oh, you've got it. How did you
Oh,
do
yeah.
it?
Well, I had to put mobile data because I'm not at home. But high tide's at 12:32.
So any time now would be good.
Low tide is 6:28.
Yes, well you don't want to go when it's low tide.
It's interesting, that the tides change so much. I thought they would just be a little bit every day, but no, they seem to change. Have you noticed that? Dramatically from day to day. I thought they only changed. Oh, this doesn't change dramatically. I was looking at another. No, this is only.
Would you like some letters to take away? Oh no, you're going away.
No, probably not. My sister just wants to. I've got a meal for tomorrow night, so.
Rips take you out into the middle of the sea, doesn't it?
Yeah, all of a sudden you end up quite a distance away. You have to get. I think you have to swim sideways out of the rip, don't you?
I don't
Not
really
try and
know.
swim back to shore. Does that make sense?
I thought you didn't fight it.
Oh, you're probably right.
Because if you try and fight it, you don't get out of it, and when it stops you can swim back or something. I don't know. But I find, the life-saving people, they don't necessarily save you.
If you're swimming between the flags, you're pretty safe.
Well, it rests on the thing that they're bothering to look, and then whether they can be bothered coming out to do something.
carry people away from the shore. They're surface events, not undertows. An undertow is a short-lived subsurface surge of water associated with wave action. So you die because you panic and have limited water skills, or when you persist in trying to swim to shore against a strong rip current here. The best way to survive a rip is to stay afloat, yell for help. You can also swim, that's what I've heard, parallel to the shore to escape the rip current. So you want to, don't want to try and come back, you just want to, if you can. 3 myths about rip currents. This is what you really want to know, Campbell. To spot a rip current, look for a break or flat spot in the waves, or as an area of white water that moves away from the shore. Surfers use them to help paddle out past breaking waves. Always swim in view of a lifeguard, and if you do end up in a rip current, staying calm and knowing what to do can ensure that you make it safely back to shore. I didn't know that. Did you know it's not an undertow? I thought it affected deeper in the water. It's only on the surface. They can go as fast as 5 miles per hour, faster than even Olympic level swimmers. They won't take you far offshore. Yeah, if you find yourself floating away from shore, try to relax, float, and wave for help. Even under the worst conditions, you won't be swept to the middle of the ocean, though it could be a long swim back to shore. Most rip currents are part of a closed circuit. A coastal engineer and rip current scientist. Oh, there's a rip current scientist at Johns Hopkins University. If you ride it long enough, you will usually be taken back to shore by a diffuse, weaker return flow. Oh, that's interesting. The exception occurs during fierce storms when pounding surf sets up powerful longshore currents that shed turbulent eddies. But they look and feel like rips, but they're not part of the circulation cell that would carry you to the shore. When the surf is big, most people should stay out of the water. If you don't see a rip current, you don't have to worry about one. That's a myth. In some cases, rip currents form spontaneously in response to the interaction of a lot of waves coming together from many directions at once. Well, you see, the other day on Monday, the lifeguards, I had trouble staying between the flags, and they were on the beach. A lot of people were just left of the flags because I could see why, because they were on the beach where the waves were intercepting. Do you know? And it's very hard to stay up when they're crashing from 2 directions on you. But I don't know, they must know what they're doing. Oh yes, anyway.
I want to bring up to make it a longer time that my phone stays on, you know. I don't know which is the thing to...
I don't know how to do that either.
No, I don't know that you can. Unless I don't know if you can, Muriel.
Yes, I've seen it. I did make it 30 minutes.
30 minutes? No.
Well, I like that because it's quite hard to turn it on. You see, you have to press there
Do you?
And-
Don't press here and turn it on?
No, well, I don't think so. They used to with my other one.
But this is a smartphone, isn't it?
Mm.
You should be able to just touch the screen. That might be something that you could change.
Yeah.
Would that be under Campbell?
Well, wouldn't it be under settings of some
Biometrics
variety?
and
Well, that doesn't sound right.
doesn't it?
But wouldn't it be something to do with the screen?
Lock screen type. Roman clock style. Screen lock type is swipe.
Oh.
So you should just be able to swipe,
Yeah.
Muriel. Yeah.
Mm.
Roman clock is on. Facebook notifications, shortcuts.
Perhaps I shouldn't have.
You shouldn't have
Perhaps
to do the
30 minutes
button.
is too long.
Well, I've not known. I've never adjusted the time my phone rings. Have you?
Isn't she talking about how long it stays before it turns off?
Before it
You know, but
goes,
goes
to sleep.
dark.
Oh, that one. Oh, I see. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't know if I can help. What are these? Ripple.
Well, I've tried to get rid of those because I couldn't, on the other one, I couldn't put the COVID thing in. But see, when I go like that,
Yeah, what you just do, hang on, you just push it,
and
Okay.
it says,
remove from the home, but it doesn't mean you remove it from the phone. But
well,
you,
the next one was uninstall. I'd
no,
like
you-
to uninstall
oh, you want to
it.
uninstall it?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I don't need it now.
Do you want to uninstall this app? Okay.
Oh, so,
It'll go. It'll just
Yeah.
disappear.
yeah. Because, see, I've got the proper one now.
That's
With
fine.
the previous phone, I couldn't put it on.
Okay, Campbell, what do you want to do? You go for a swim?
I guess so.
It seems a shame that you've cut your hair, you've had it cut like that, because it was looking beautiful. It was nice brown. It was just getting a bit long for him. And I asked him if I could just trim it. So when it gets longer this time, don't get all chopped off like that. You should have got my.
I quite like it.
Do you? You should have got the beard trimmed a bit.
I saw in the city, I was in the city the other day, free barbers. Do you get that sometimes? Oh no, I didn't see it
No.
in the city, I saw it here at Whitiraya.
What do you see?
Free barber.
Oh,
Whitiraya do it, that's right, they'll be practising.
yes.
You can ring them up, Campbell, and find out.
I've put on weight over Christmas and New Year,
So have I.
so I'm really trying hard to lose it again. It's easier to put it on than take it off, isn't it?
Well, how's Shiv? She looks thinner.
Does she?
I don't know.
I think she's fine. She has a cousin who's lost his spouse, I think, husband, I suppose, and she wanted to go up there last week to see her because she hadn't been to the funeral. And Philip said, oh no, Auckland's bad with COVID, no, you're not allowed to go up there. Elise was telling me, Elise said that she went round just before Christmas to get beans from Shiv, and there was a ladder against the wall, and Shiv said it was for Philip put it up for Jesus to come down the chimney. Jesus. And Liz was upset because she said, seems like Philip's just confusing her.
Was it for the children?
No, she hasn't got any children.
No, but there must be children. Does she have grandchildren? or anything?
Jesus to come
Well,
down.
they don't often come. I mean, her daughter comes, but I think there's
So was the
grown
ladder,
up
was the ladder
grandchildren.
for them?
Grown up grandchildren.
That seems a bit bizarre, doesn't it? I mean, we as kids we used to wonder how Santa could get in because the chimney was all blocked off, you know. And we used to just Mum used to say, oh, he'll come in the window, I wouldn't worry, he'll get in somehow. Because the chimney was all closed up. Oh dear. But that, I've never heard of that, hey, that's
Yeah.
and it's funny, you know, we grew up putting milk and cookies down, but some people put down, I've never heard of, you know, putting down grass and water, you know, for the reindeer, you know. I just have never heard of that, it's just whatever your family tradition, I suppose, a bit, I don't know.
We didn't do anything because brethren didn't have any Christmas. It was it's supposed to be a heathen.
We're losing the youth, aren't we, at the church?
Well, we're losing Matt and Sarah's. I mean, Alicia, is it?
We're
And-
losing lots of youth, we're losing some of the Dawsons, they're not coming now.
Well, I don't know. They were coming.
Tyler?
I mean, it's holiday time.
Yeah.
Some families don't come, like Roger doesn't come, you know.
They've been
holidays.
away though, haven't they?
Oh, but that's a while ago.
No,
They've been-
they've just been away.
Oh, have they?
They've just been to the Coromandel.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Oh, they must just only be back or back.
That's right.
Yeah, because
yes.
he was working over Christmas, wasn't he?
Yeah. Well, traditionally, Gillans, at least Prescott's didn't come in the holidays.
Right.
Yeah.
It's sad because that was good when they had a youth pastor. Hey,
Yes.
that was because the church will just die otherwise, won't it?
Mm.
With older people, you know. I don't know. I shouldn't be so negative, but I can see why they don't want to come. Eh? I think that was a consideration for the Langhams too.
What,
Oh, I don't
why
know.
don't they want to come?
There's no young people. There's nothing for them. There's no youth group at the church.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I think the Langham boys were fine because they were all taking part in the music. They were doing, the last day when they told us that they were going, one boy was playing the piano and the other one was on drums, and Anika was on singing. So, I mean, if you're involved, that's something. But I think Casper will keep coming. He's pretty committed. It was really funny. That was a really fun, what do you call them?
The puppet skit.
Puppet.
I had to go out. What was I saw the first part about different. What was the rest of it? What was the rest of it about?
Well, what did it start off?